Ryan Nemeth, according to Fightful and the Wrestling Observer, is filing a lawsuit, or has filed a lawsuit in the LA Superior Court against AEW, Tony Khan, and Phil Brooks.
Could you shed some light, because everything is so vague about that situation?
About my tweet?
About your tweet and what happened after, because a lot of reports came out about confrontation backstage and stuff like that, but I don't think...
I'll tell you that there's some things I can talk about and some things that I can't talk about, but I can very happily tell you about my tweet. The top good guy on the TV show was missing for 8 months due to what I was told was a triceps injury, right? And on his very first night back, he in character called someone else soft. And so I thought, well, I'm a heel. This is a babyface. We both work for the same wrestling company. He gets injured more than anyone who's ever wrestled. And his very first night back, in character, called someone else soft. I thought, what else am I supposed to do? Of course, I must respond to this in character. And I did. And so anything beyond that, I guess I'm probably not safely able to talk about at this time during this interview. But I think that's a very reasonable thing for a talking bad guy heel to say in response to the heroic babyface who seemed to be a little bit hypocritical. Was that fair?
That was grade A douchebag Ryan Nemeth. I keep wanting to say Nick Nemeth because Nick Nemeth, obviously Dolph Ziggler, his older, more handsome, more talented, more wealthy, more successful older brother that everybody knows, and Ryan Nemeth's just kind of the guy that kind of clings on and follows and is the nepotism hire over at TNA, where he currently works now. Of course, this is Ryan Nemeth commenting on the tweet that started all of this mess, as you heard from that clip from Cultaholic as well. Ryan Nemeth is suing AEW, Tony Khan, and CM Punk over this sad backlash from this stupid fucking tweet that Ryan Nemeth made. And you saw him. He's sitting there with all the smarm in the world all over his face, just a smug douchebag. I mean, a guy who gets injured more than literally anybody else. So I thought that as a bad guy, I could take a shot at the heroic babyface who's being a little hypocritical. Okay, douchebag, it's not your angle, first of all. Stop kidding yourself. This is a bullshit story that you made up to begin with. You weren't just going into business for yourself. If you were, that's bad enough. You should have had your ass kicked on principle just for going into business for yourself. Because you are not in an angle with CM Punk. You are not doing any televised anything with CM Punk. You have no business in this storyline, so you don't insert yourself into it. That was a douchebag comment, and you haven't seen him make any other douchebag comments about anybody else on the roster that he's not actively working with. That's not something that he does, so he's full of shit right there. What actually happened is he's friends with the Young Bucks. And after CM Punk single-handedly beat the fuck out of both the Young Bucks with one arm, and then left the company for about a year or so, this empowered Nick Nemeth, who's buddies with the Young Bucks, to talk a little shit. And that's what he was doing. He was being a smartass. You can see it in the smug look on his stupid fucking face. That he was getting enjoyment out of taking a jab at Punk because he's friends with the Bucks. That's what he was doing, and now he's walking out, oh, I'm just a heel. I feel like it's a perfectly reasonable thing for a heel. Not when it's not your angle, you fucking douche. So, of course, CM Punk, like any man would do, is going to walk up to him and go, yo, we got a problem? Do we need to settle this out in the hallway? What's wrong with that? If somebody calls you soft, right? Some fucking douche online calls you soft that you work with, are you not going to walk up to that guy the next day and go, yo, bro, do we got a problem here? Do we got to step outside and settle something? Or would you like to fill me in on why you're running your mouth online? I'm just a heel and blah, blah. He backtracked so fast. That was the story that he told CM Punk. Oh, I'm just a heel and blah, 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 blah. No, you're being a smartass. Then you got your fucking big mouth checked by CM Punk, who doesn't put up with anybody's bullshit. Literally the softest man alive, hey? Who was fucking soft and cowering like a little bitch when CM Punk confronted you? Now you could argue, is that a professional way to handle things? Especially when we're going to go through this lawsuit a little bit here. We're going to get into the details of it as posted on Fightful. But you're going to see that Ryan Nemeth makes a lot of stupid fucking claims and likes to babyface himself and wants to play the bad guy here. But he's the one who instigated this whole entire situation. It never would have happened. He never would have been on Punk's radar had he not opened his stupid mouth. And any man with a set of balls is going to walk up to you and ask what's up. In a workplace as management, that's what I was going to say, is mention that Punk is management here in this lawsuit. Maybe not the most professional way to handle it, but have we known CM Punk to ever be the most professional handling beefs in the most professional way? No, he punches people in the face. That's what he does. And mind you, I get that this is 2025, but let's be honest, this is a wrestling locker room. A wrestling, bro. This is a wrestling locker room. You're gonna talk shit and then be a bitch when someone steps to you? These are tough guys, macho guys with egos and big muscles. You're not going to walk up and check somebody that calls you literally the softest man alive, completely unprovoked, having nothing to do with you? Zero context? There's nothing further added to that was like, yeah, I want to work a match with you. I'll face you in the ring. Literally the softest man alive. I could beat you in 3 seconds, CM Punk. Just give me the opportunity. Nothing like that. He's being a smartass, and you can see it on his face when he's talking about it. That stupid, smarmy smile that you want to smack off. You've seen people with that smile. He knows what he's doing. Don't let it fool you. And now he's so emotionally damaged by this years later. He's so emotionally damaged by this that he's filing a lawsuit. What a pussy. We're not even sure that Punk ever touched this guy. He got in his face. He threatened to hurt him. And then there's, word that he was blackballed from Collision or sent home from Collision because, why would Punk want to work with him? Collision was Punk's show at this time. He was the EVP running Collision. Why would he want the douchebag that's talking shit to him online that he damn near punched in the face to be backstage? Why would he want to work with any of the Young Bucks friends? It's the whole reason they tried to do that stupid roster split in AEW to begin with was to appease CM Punk and keep him away from everybody related to the Young Bucks. Of course he was sent home. Stupid. Ryan Nemeth, years later, is so upset about this, he's filing a lawsuit. Let's go ahead and get it pulled up here. I have it from Fightful, Fightful.com here. All right, we got it up here from Fightful.com, the bullet points from this lawsuit. I did try to find the actual lawsuit. Not able to find it, just finding a lot of news stories about this lawsuit, but not finding the actual lawsuit. According to Fightful here, it says there is no case number assigned to the lawsuit and is not yet listed online. But from the lawsuit, we have Ryan Nemeth is a successful actor, comedian, and stuntman. Is he though? His IMDb here has, and I apologize here, it's a little bit off screen. What do we got here? TNA, that's not an actual show. Jimmy Kimmel Live, doing all your liberal skits for Jimmy Kimmel Live. That's makes you a successful actor. I don't know. The Iron Claw, what was he in that for 2 seconds? Gino Hernandez. Okay, yeah. So he had a one talking scene for fucking 3 seconds. Okay, you're famous. You're a successful actor. You're famous for that. AEW Rampage. I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson. Ooh, My Neighbors Are Dead. That's a podcast. That's not even the Me and You show. So you know all of the famous shows that he was in. The Iron Claw is the only one worth a shit. And he really had zero to do with that. So let's go ahead and pop this back over here so we can read it properly. Nemeth also followed his older brother Nick's career. His more successful, famous brother Nick, blah, 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 blah. AEW is owned by Shad and Tony Khan. Shad is the owner of the NFL franchise, Jaguars. When his son Tony managed to alienate most everyone within the Jaguars organization, Tony was moved to a leadership role in the Khan family-owned Fulham Football Club. Tony ended up mismanaging Fulham, leading to multiple lawsuits against the club. Since he was a child, Tony loved professional wrestling and had an obsession with certain wrestlers. The Khan family formed AEW to provide Tony with something to do safely away from the family's other ventures. Except that Tony still works for both Fulham and the Jacksonville Jaguars, so that doesn't make any sense either. Phil Brooks was another wrestler under contract with and they didn't start, so Tony had something to do. Tony actually started AEW with his inheritance money. His dad's not listed as an owner of it. His sister is actually, like the parent company for AEW is in both Tony and his sister's name, but not Chad. Phil Brooks, CM Punk, was another wrestler under contract with AEW and a member of AEW management team. There, in writing and lawsuit. This has been speculation for quite a while. Did Punk have any kind of management in AEW? Was he an EVP secretly? Yes, he was. When he was released, the announcement from AEW said he was released from both of his contracts. Punk famously said, "I'm trying to run a business here." Punk was famously in charge of Collision. Punk was an EVP. He had the EVP contract that the Young Bucks did and Kenny Omega had. And maybe even probably Chris Jericho might have as well. But Punk certainly had that. It wasn't necessarily made public, but I think we've seen enough here to back that he was a member of management. Tony had a deep fascination with Brooks. Brooks undertook a campaign to terrorize and intimidate the plaintiff. Excuse me, I'm getting choked up about this. Including physical assault. Boy, I'd love to know more details about this physical assault, because all we were able to hear was that Punk threatened him. Did he push him up against the wall? Did he push him like he did fucking Jungle Jack? Did he punch him? What happened here? AEW and Tony Khan did nothing to protect Ryan Nemeth except for sending him home from Collision, maybe, and other wrestling performers from despicable conduct on the part of Brooks. Other wrestlers, like what? Jungle Boy? AEW turned a blind eye to Brooks' conduct because of Tony's deep admiration for Brooks. And then they've taken an effort to blackball Nemeth so he can never work in wrestling again, except for, he works in wrestling still. Weird. Probably because of a nepotism hire, because of his older, more handsome, more talented, more successful brother, Douche, Dolph Ziggler. Let's see what else we got here. At all relevant times mentioned herein, Brooks was also an employee of AEW, serving a role in executive leadership. Covered that. In early 2023, Brooks assaulted and battered two fellow wrestlers known by the stage name Matt and Nick Jackson. Yes, he did. Yes, he fucking did. Love that. Love to hear it. Assaulted and battered both of them. Beat up two guys with one arm. But he's literally the softest man alive, folks. He's known to have an uncontrollable temper and often lashes out in violent tirades against others. Thus, defendants were on notice regarding Brooks' violent proclivities. Ooh. Now, we do know Punk has a temper, but he doesn't just... It's not unprovoked. He's not walking around just pissy. I mean, he might be, but he's not picking fights with these people. This guy, remember, went out of his way to do a stupid, shitty tweet about something that was not said to him, had nothing to do with him. And it's because he's buddies with the Jacksons, and he thought he could have a smart mouth. And he found out very quickly when he got to AEW backstage that his big mouth was not going to fly around there. Rather than removing Brooks from the AEW roster, Tony Khan made the decision to merely suspend Brooks for a few months. Brooks is one of AEW's most popular wrestlers, and Khan did not feel that Brooks could be removed without substantial loss of profit to the AEW. Further, Khan has a very deep personal affinity for Brooks. This should be thrown out as hearsay and speculation. You don't know what's in Tony Khan's heart. You can't say for fact on a legal document that Tony Khan has a deep admiration and affinity for CM Punk. Khan made the conscious decision to keep Brooks as a part of AEW, although he knew that Brooks is prone to lash out in violent episodes and to injure others. Who did he injure? Did the Bucks get injured? Were the Bucks injured after they got beat up? Is a black eye being injured? Beyond his deep feelings for Brooks, Khan represented to AEW executives and wrestlers that the TBS network had produced the AEW Collision show contingent upon Brooks' involvement as the show's star. This was all the more reason to keep Brooks, in spite his violent propensities. Yeah, if the network wanted Punk as their top star for this TV show, then that's what the network gets, because they're paying for it. Did they say that they wanted Ryan Nemeth on the show? Probably not. I don't even think nobody knows who Ryan Nemeth is. During his suspension for unknown reasons, Brooke made it known that he despised Nemeth for unknown reasons. Maybe it was your stupid fucking tweet, or maybe other dumb bullshit that you said. I don't know. Brooks has a notorious history for taking violent actions against others for no reason. None, huh? There's no reason for him to walk up to you and ask you if you had a problem and we needed to step outside and settle this? No reason, huh? You were just minding your own business. Did nothing. Okay. For no reason. On April 16th, 2023, Nemeth contacted executives within AEW to tell his employer that he was worried Brooks would come back to the wrestling circuit following his suspension and assault Nemeth. This bro is living in fear that CM Punk's going to return and kick his ass. Literally the softest man alive, but I'm scared to death of him. I'm going to tell my boss how worried I am that this guy's going to come back to work and hurt me. He's going to come here and he's going to hurt me, Tony. You got to do something. Tony, you got to protect me. He's going to come back, the big mean Phil Brooks. He's going to come back and he's going to hurt my face with his fists. His UFC championship fists. This is all preposterous. That's why I'm making a ridiculous joke of it. On June 21, 2023, following Brooks' return to the wrestling circuit, that's what they call it, you return to the wrestling circuit. He assaulted Nemeth in the male talent locker room in a menacing manner. He assaulted him in a menacing manner, not in a friendly manner, in a menacing manner. Brooks shouted at Nemeth, "Do we have a fucking problem? Do we need to step outside and handle this like men?" Nemeth was concerned by Brooks and did everything he could in order to de-escalate the situation by saying, "No, I was just shooting my own angle. I was just going into business for myself because I'm a heel and you're a babyface, and that's what we do. Oh, don't hurt me, Punk. I'm sorry." That's about how it went. I mean, I wasn't there, but that's the Cliff's Notes from it. Where was the assault? Is it assault to say, do we have a fucking problem? Let's Google. Let's do a quick Google. There it is. Literally the softest man alive. I had it pre-popped up. There's your Nick Nemeth tweet. Let's Google definition of assault. I know I'm not talking into a microphone. Fuck off. Let's see what we have. Assault. Make a physical attack on. Let me pull that back over here. There you can see it. A physical attack. A physical attack. It's a physical attack. That's what assault is. It's not saying, do we have a fucking problem? That's not a physical attack. It's just not. What's the definition of battery? Just so we can make sure we have all of our bases covered here. An unlawful use of force against a person resulting in a harmful offensive contact. Can also refer to contact with a person's belongings. Threatening to punch someone is assault, but actually punching them is battery. Okay, but a violent attack. I don't know. Maybe the courts could prove that. Do we have a fucking problem? Do we need to step outside and handle it like men? Maybe the courts could prove that that's assault. That's a tall order to try to push onto a jury or a judge or whoever the fuck's deciding on this. And also, then they're gonna ask, why was this unprovoked? Well, no, he called me soft online. He just called me the softest man alive. So yeah, I'm gonna walk up to him and say, do we have a problem? Did you want to fight me or something? Douchebag. Any male knows, I mean, fuck, man. We all grew up in school and shit that are like prison systems, right? Public schools are like prison systems. You can't just go around talking shit. You're going to get your ass kicked. You learn that early on. Was this guy the jock bro in high school? You didn't have to worry about people trying to beat him up for running his stupid fucking mouth? Because I guarantee where I grew up, if I walked around calling some guy in my fucking school or at work or anywhere soft, if I posted online, some guy in my town was soft, literally the softest man alive, you best bet the next time I see that guy out at a bar or at a restaurant or at school or wherever the fuck we are, he's gonna come up and say something. Yo, I heard you were talking shit. Do we got a problem here? That is a very normal reaction to this. Is it the most professional reaction? No. Is it kind of a meathead reaction? Sure. It's the male ego, the testosterone, the what? You got something to say? But that's a guy thing. That's the normal order of things for the most part. He didn't think that he was going to get checked for saying that. Oh, let's see. The next day, Nemeth was contacted by Tony Schiavone and other executives from AEW to explain what happened. Nemeth calmly and factually explained that he was attacked by Brooks in the locker room. There's that word again, attacked. Following the assault, nothing happened to Brooks as far as punishment from AEW. Why would they? It's a locker room full of tough guys with egos and testosterone. It's a nothing burger. Hey, you're talking shit online. Do we have a problem? No? All right, well, keep your fucking mouth shut then. Done. That's it. That's the end of it. Unless you're a crybaby pussy bitch, then you hold on to it for 2 years and then sue people over it. It is well known in the wrestling industry that benching a wrestler is a form of punishment. That is, the wrestling performer is not scheduled for a match and thus is not paid. Benching a wrestler is a customary manner of punishment for a wrestler. Following the incident with Brooks, Nemeth greatly feared being benched by AEW. Nemeth spoke with AEW's in-house counsel attorneys. All of the attorneys promised that Nemeth would not be benched. Following his June 22 conversation with Schiavone, Nemeth was not booked for a match for over 2 months. It wasn't booked. Oh, you mean you were a douchebag? Also, what? Let's see. AEW Dark ended when? April 25th, 2023 was when Dark ended, and when was it? April 25th, 2023. Following this June 22nd conversation was not booked for 2 months. Okay, well, wasn't he primarily a dark wrestler? Because Nemeth was not booked for matches, his income stream from AEW dried up. More importantly, his popularity and markability faded from being absent. You remember how popular Nick Nemeth was before they pulled him off of TV? That kid was really getting over. Nick Nemeth. See, I'm doing it again. Ryan Nemeth. He's in... Doesn't even matter. Whatever the fuck his name is. Ryan, you remember how big of a star Ryan Nemeth was before they pulled him off TV? That kid was really going somewhere. They were giving him the push for the TNT title. He was getting over with the fans. They were cheering him every time he came out. Ryan. You remember all that star power that he lost from being taken off of TV. My God. Was he contracted with AEW or was he just a per appearance guy? Most of the dark people, I think, were per appearance, but Nemeth was around there a lot. Did he have a contract? Did he get the All Elite? My apologies here. I'm going ham, screaming. Tony... Because Tony Khan had such deep admiration for Brooks, bordering on obsession, Khan went along with Brooks' desires to ruin Nemeth's career. I know Punk was probably just plotting. We got to really just ruin this fucking guy's career because he sent a mean tweet. More like, hey, I don't want this douchebag in my locker room. Book him on Dynamite all you like. Keep him off Collision. The whole point of Collision was to separate Punk from the Young Bucks. And Young Bucks sympathizers. I'm not seeing an issue here. Bordering on obsession, yeah, probably. Tony Khan's probably pretty obsessed with Punk. I'll give him that one. On August 12th, 2023, Nemeth was finally booked for an event in Greensboro, North Carolina. On the morning of the 12th, Nemeth was walking through the hotel lobby on the shuttle. He saw Brooks. Brooks immediately took out his phone and began to text. Uh-oh. A moment after the text was sent, Nemeth received a text from AEW's supervisor, Pat Buck, saying that he needed to speak with him. Upon arriving to the arena, Pat Buck told Nemeth that he needed to leave the arena immediately and that his travel would be arranged for him to fly out the next day. Yeah, I don't want you on my show, bro. There's zero obligation to put you on my show. Zero. Was there a contract? Do you have a contract? If you were under contract, it had a minimum amount of dates probably, and it had guaranteed money, so there's nothing to worry about there. If you were a per appearance guy, I don't know, don't talk shit to the top stars. If you're a per appearance guy in WWE and you go online and talk shit about Roman Reigns, what do you think's going to happen to you? Do you think WWE is going to continue to book you? Oh, but I was just going into business for myself because Roman's a good guy and I'm a bad guy. You think that would fly in WWE? Of course not. It's preposterous. Nemeth was embarrassed and humiliated in front of the other wrestlers who witnessed him being kicked out of the arena. Oh my God. More importantly, fans observed him leaving the arena. Pictures were taken and the expulsion became viral on social media. The humiliation caused irreparable damage and to damage the marketability and reputation of Nemeth. Oh, please. What marketability? You remember how much Ryan Nemeth was getting over? You remember he was on the cusp of becoming such a huge star. He was very marketable. They had all the t-shirts, the Ryan Nemeth gimmicks, the fans, the little kids in the crowd. Ryan. Hollywood hunk shit everywhere. Absolutely preposterous. And he's still working in wrestling. The entire episode was engineered by Brooks. Brooks demanded that Nemeth be told to leave and that he would be flown out, blah, 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 blah. On August 15th, 2023, Nemeth contracted AEW's legal group and complained about being ejected from the event. At the direction of Brooks, AEW lawyers were themselves stunned and could offer no explanation for the conduct of Brooks and Khan. You are not obligated to get booked. You're not obligated to get booked. You're not obligated to get booked. Why do I gotta say that? You talk shit about a guy, the biggest star in the company, he doesn't want to work with you anymore. Period. Duh. an EVP on top of that? Go online and talk shit about Triple H. See if Triple H wants to use you. Go online and talk shit about Roman Reigns. See if you get booked. It's preposterous. What are you doing? I'm shooting an angle for myself. Okay. November 18th, Nemeth 2024, Nemeth wrestled for AEW for the last time. Nemeth continued to follow up with AEW's legal department in the hopes of trying to resolve the situation and avoid further conflict. You are done with AEW. What further conflict are you trying to resolve with AEW's legal department? Why is this so distressing to you? Where are we in it? You know, he's on the Jimmy Kimmel show, and Jimmy Kimmel cries about everything all the time, so maybe this is just where we're at in society with a portion of people these days who are just literally the softest people alive, crying because I talk shit on the internet and I got checked for it. Now my feelings are hurt. My reputation is damaged. I'm being blackballed. Everybody was mean to me and everybody saw him being mean to me. Crybaby bullshit. That's all this is. Why are you hanging on to this 2 years later? AEW attorney Chris Peck reached out and threatened legal action against Nemeth and accused him of employing a ghostwriter in his emails. Irrelevant. On November 25th, 2024, Brooks left AEW to wrestle for the organization competitor WWE. Khan was heartbroken by the departure of Brooks, his idol that he adored in every way. Now, that's probably true from what we've seen, but he doesn't know that that's true. To put it in a legal document, we can observe that we think Tony had a little bit of a man crush on CM Punk. Sure, it was his favorite toy to play with. I bet. But can you put in a legal document that Brooks was his idol and that he adored him in every way and he was heartbroken? The defendants have embarked upon a campaign to blackball Nemeth from professional wrestling. The defendants, so Tony Khan, AEW, and CM Punk, all three of these guys are actively working to blackball Ryan Nemeth from professional wrestling. Are they? Do you think CM Punk is spending a lot of time worrying about what Ryan Nemeth is up to in other companies trying to get work? Really? You think that's the case? Tony Khan probably not going to hire Ryan Nemeth for AEW, but do you think he's actively trying to get TNA to not hire him, or New Japan, or maybe, but you're going to have to prove that in court, buddy. You can't just slap that shit out there. Khan was furious with Nemeth. Khan believes that Brooke left AEW because of Nemeth. Oh my God, I can't believe I skipped over that one. Tony Khan thinks that Punk left AEW because of Ryan Nemeth. Not the Young Bucks and that backstage, not the brawl out. It was because of the mean tweet that Ryan Nemeth sent. Okay. The conduct of each of the defendants was malicious in that defendants intended to cause injury to the plaintiff. Defendant acted willfully and with a conscious disregard for the rights of the plaintiff. Nemeth is seeking compensatory damages, punitive damages, and demands a jury trial. Yeah, good luck with that. Monetary, he's trying to get money. This is a money grab. My feelings were hurt, so I suing you. My feelings were hurt. Here's the deal, bro. You talk shit about a company's top star. That top star checked you. You backed up. You ran your mouth. Then you backtracked, pretended it was all a work. All in your own head, by the way, your own headcanon work. Not a work that you were scripted to be a part of. So you're talking shit about the top star in a company, and then that top star decides, who's also an executive there, decides, you know what? I don't want you on my show. You can be on the other guy's show, but not on my show. We're not obligated to work with you, bro. And as far as I'm aware, he was not all elite. So he was probably a per appearance guy. What on earth does he think? He thinks Punk's just going to fucking welcome this guy in with open arms to fucking work on the show with him? Yeah, dude, cool angle you shot for yourself on Twitter. Let's have a match and get you over, bro. Is that what Ryan really thought in his head? Here's what happened. We'll wrap this up here. Ryan Nemeth is friends with the Young Bucks. Ryan Nemeth is a nepotism hire, both from the Young Bucks to AEW and from Nick Nemeth in TNA. Nobody actually wants Ryan Nemeth themselves, right? Ryan Nemeth friends with these guys after Punk got in a fight with them and had a very public falling out beef with the Young Bucks. Ryan Nemeth took it upon himself to take his own little jab. And you saw it there at the beginning. He laughed. He giggled. Guy that gets injured more than anybody else. He gets injured before anybody else. Oh, but you were just shooting an angle. Literally the softest man alive. No context in response to Punk cutting a promo, a work on somebody. Of course Punk's going to check you. What on earth were you thinking? Of course Punk's going to walk up and say, do we have a fucking problem here? Especially when Punk's already pissy from working with a bunch of immature children and shit. It's not going to be a friendly conversation. What in the fuck were you thinking? Now he's so emotionally traumatized by all of this. Oh, they were blackballing me. They didn't want me to be at Collision. My friends saw me get made fun of. This is... What a douchebag. This is the biggest fucking douchebag on the planet. Suing a company he worked for because things didn't work out for him there because he had a big stupid mouth. Because he thought, because he was friends with the Bucks, he'd be able to get away with talking stupid shit. Guess you didn't, did ya? How will this play out? Well, there's a lot of bullshit in this lawsuit that he's going to have to be able to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt or reasonable whatever the fuck. It depends if he has a jury, I guess, or if it's a judge. And maybe he will win some sort of damages from this. But he's going to have to prove it all. Maybe AEW will settle out of court with him. I don't know. I know Punk's not going to settle out of court. Stupid. The whole thing's stupid. It makes Ryan look like a douchebag. It makes Ryan look like a cuck, a bitch, a pussy, a weakling, literally the softest man alive. This guy can't back. If you're going to call a guy the softest man alive, you better be ready to step to that guy. Don't fucking wait till you get backstage and that guy walks up to you and says, yo, we got a problem, and then be like, oh, I was just shooting an angle. Were ya? Did you indicate that in your tweet? Were we booked to work a match or something that I wasn't for? Are we working tonight? No? Next week? No? Building to a big pay-per-view feud? No? So you're shooting your own angle then. Were you told to do this? Did Tony tell you this was a good idea? No, you're going into business for yourself then. And you're friends with these guys, and you want me to expect... You expect me to believe that this is all just you just being a good heel. I'm just being a good heel. Making fun of a guy that got injured again. LOL. Gets injured more than any other wrestler. LOL. Oh, but I was just being a good guy. I was just being a heel. A heel. This is a ridiculous lawsuit. It's a bunch of bullshit. This is Ryan Nemeth being a crybaby bitch boy. And I hope he ends up blackballed. I hope he never finds true work in wrestling again. He'll be able to ride his brother's coattails in TNA for a while, I'm sure. But at some point, Ryan's going to have to blaze his own path. And I can't imagine people are going to be super happy to work with this douchebag. Because you can't even say something to this guy the wrong way without him getting litigious all of a sudden. And where are we at? We're in a professional wrestling industry You can't handle somebody checking you for running your mouth. Thought this was a business of tough guys. You're just a pretty sissy boy. Oh, don't hurt me, Punk. And then he was scared. I told Tony I was scared Punk was going to get retribution against me. This guy is living in fucking fear, folks. Punk living rent-free in this dude's head for years. Is Punk that scary? I mean, I know he's angry sometimes. And I know, like, you know, you can say what you want about his UFC career, but I'll tell you, a fucking white belt in any martial art would kick the shit out of a guy on the street. Point blank, period. I don't care how hard you punch. A white belt could take you down and tie you in a fucking pretzel because you don't know any better. The limited amount of moves that they're taught, even just the way you throw a punch, dude. There's a proper way to throw a punch. You get trained on how to do that shit. Punk would beat the fuck out of Ryan Nemeth. I don't care if every UFC guy could fucking tie Punk in a pretzel, beat him down, fuck him in the ass. I don't care. Ryan Nemeth ain't going to be able to stop Punk. That's for sure. I don't know what he was thinking. I really don't. But is Punk that scary to be like living in fear? Yeah, he's a tough guy. Yeah, he might beat your ass. But then what? It's done. Yeah, I called you soft because you're being soft. You get injured all the goddamn time. You're out here calling people soft. You're the softest fucking guy I've ever seen. Why not stand behind your words, douchebag? What are you afraid Punk's going to throw a fist at you? Throw a fist back if you think he's so soft. He's soft, right? He's the softest guy alive. You should be able to wipe your fucking hands with this guy. Nope. I'm going to cower in fear, be scared for years, and file a lawsuit. I'll leave it there because I'm just ranting and bitching, but I'd love to know your thoughts. Do you have an alternative take on this? Are you team Ryan Nemeth in this mess? Love to hear that take because Jesus Christ, I want to punch this guy in the face. We'll leave it there. Peace, love, and pizza. I am your boy, Seth Grimes, and we'll catch you in the next video. Don't sue me because you got mad about the video. I'm sorry I hurt your feelings. I'm sorry.
Let me tell you something, brother. Thanks for watching the video. Check out more great clips by hitting that subscribe button, dude. And while you're there, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to say your prayers and eat your vitamins, brother.